What happened? Did you know what happened this week? In the 20th century, June 9 to 15? From pivotal battles to groundbreaking events, the second week of June in the 20th century was marked by significant moments that shaped our world. Let's explore what happened between June 9th and June 15th. The first online bank, June 11, 1995. In the United States, a quiet revolution began. On that day, Security First Network Bank, based in Atlanta, Georgia, launched its operations. It was the world's first fully digital bank, no branches, no paper, no in-person tellers. Customers could now check balances, transfer money, and pay bills, all from their home computer. In an era when most people were still getting used to email, online banking sounded futuristic, even risky. But this was just the beginning. Within a decade, nearly every major bank would follow. June 11, 1995 marked a quiet milestone, the moment banking stepped into the digital age. The dawn of television, June 9, 1934. Images and sound were transmitted live from a London theatre to BBC studios. This groundbreaking event marked the UK's inaugural public television broadcast. The broadcast featured actors performing short scenes, transmitted using the mechanical system developed by Scottish inventor John Logie Baird. At a time when television was a novelty, this demonstration captivated audiences and signaled the beginning of a new era in mass communication. From that moment, the screen became an integral part of daily life, revolutionizing how we receive news, entertainment, and information. The end of the Six-Day War, June 10, 1967. On June 10, 1967, just 6 days after it began, the war was over. A ceasefire was declared. Israel had achieved a sweeping military victory, but the consequences were far from over. New borders, occupied territories, and a conflict that would continue for decades. The Six-Day War may have ended in less than a week, but its impact is still being felt to this day. First transport to Auschwitz, June 14, 1940. A train left the southern Polish city of Tarnow, carrying 728 Polish political prisoners. Their destination, a former army barracks near the town of Auschwitz. That day, the name Auschwitz entered history. These men were not yet part of the Holocaust's industrial mass murder. They were students, teachers, doctors, opponents of the Nazi occupation. But their arrival marked the beginning of a system that would soon become the most infamous death camp in human history. Over the next 5 years, more than 1.1 million people, Jews, Roma, Soviet POWs, and others, would perish there. June 14, 1940 was not the end of freedom for 728 men. It was the start of a machinery of death. First non-stop transatlantic flight, June 14, 1919. A modified World War I bomber takes off from a field in Newfoundland, Canada. On board, 2 British aviators, John Alcock and Arthur Brown. Their goal? To do what no one had ever done before: cross the Atlantic Ocean non-stop, by air. The flight was cold, cramped, dangerous. They battled thick fog, freezing temperatures, and even mechanical failure. But after nearly 16 hours in the sky, they crash-landed, safely, in a bog in Western Ireland. They had flown over 3,000 kilometers, setting a world record, and earning a £10,000 prize from the Daily Mail. June 14, 1919. A new age in aviation had begun. The Atlantic was no longer a barrier, it was a runway. The eruption of Mount Pinatubo, June 12, 1991. After 500 years of silence, Mount Pinatubo roars back to life. The eruption is sudden, massive, and catastrophic. A towering ash column rises 35 kilometers into the sky. Lava flows. Ash rains down. Within days, nearly 800 people are dead, and hundreds of thousands are displaced. On June 15, the volcano unleashes its largest eruption, one of the most powerful of the 20th century. Combined with a typhoon, the ash spreads across Asia, reaching as far as the Indian Ocean. Global temperatures dropped by 0.5 degrees Celsius for the next 2 years. Mount Pinatubo, once a quiet peak, became a symbol of nature's fury, and a lesson in the power of early warning systems.